Magic the Gathering Lorwyn Eclipsed, my friends, it is going to be an exciting set. A lot of people are looking forward to it. Spoiler season was a great success. If you have seen the cards in the commander decks, once that was known, commander decks sold out everywhere. Not able to find commander decks anywhere. Why is that, my friends? Because the expected value of those commander decks is at least 200%. The cards in those commander decks are cards that some cards have not been reprinted in the last years. Now, the community is wondering, the expected value, will that value be that high? In the end, yes or no? Or will it tank? Because you know how that goes. And people are looking at those old cards, the value that they have, and they're making an assumption on what the price of the cards in that Lorwyn Eclipsed commander decks would be. Will these prices for these old cards tank due to the reprint? There is a big chance for that. But still, that does not stop anybody from buying these commander decks. I also wanted to buy. I did a pre-order. I only know it by the end of this week if my allocation comes through, which I'm betting on it will not. I already called up my supplier and I asked, what are my chances? And they said, Siggy, it is going to be a very slim chance. We are going to see what we can do for you. I know what that means. Probably I just get jack shit, which is just my own fault due to what happened with previous Magic the Gathering sets in 2025. I said, am I going to pre-order Lorwyn Eclipsed? It didn't ring a bell to me. Okay, yeah. I'm not a player, and I was basing myself upon Takir, Dragonstorm, Age of Drift, Final Fantasy, okay, but then Spider-Man. Spider-Man destroyed a lot for a lot of people. It did not sold properly. Single cards, also not really a hit. There are sometimes some cards that sell, but mainly the cards are very weak. That is the overall impression. Product is sitting on the shelves and I paid way too much for those damn booster boxes. In the end, you know how that goes. They say some need to hold the bag. I've got a big bag. Well, it's not so big, but you get the point. It made me cautious. What am I going to do? Avatar, The Last Airbender. I did a pre-order. I had my booster boxes. Those single cards, they sell great. Great is a big word. They sell. They sell. Okay, the value is not exponentially either, but they sell. It is not a bad product, but the market is careful. They are keeping an eye and they don't trust it. That was the exact thought that everybody had when Lorwyn Eclipsed was announced. Everybody said, what the hell? We know Lorwyn, it's now coming back, Lorwyn Eclipsed. Will it do good, yes or no? We are still biting that sour apple from Spider-Man. What did Wizard of the Coast do to us? And everybody was careful and they said, I'm going to hold on. I did that as well. And we then also got the pre-orders for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and everybody said, crap, that's going to be garbage. Nobody wants that. And that threw a shadow on top of Lorwyn Eclipsed. For me at least. I did not do any pre-order for Lorwyn Eclipsed. Not even for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Which I'm regretting a little bit because perhaps that product will do a little bit good. We need to wait for spoiler season and then it will be too late to do your pre-orders because everybody will buy it out if spoiler season is a success. I've checked multiple suppliers. I've been checking prices for Lorwyn Eclipsed. Booster boxes are now hovering around 140 US. Selling out basically everywhere. My expectation is it's not going to take long before it is hitting 160, 170. Count my words. I've already seen one of my suppliers, a pretty big one, already changed the price. It is still marked out of stock, but I know on the day of the release, they are going to put it back in stock. Kind of like their second wave. They are holding back a piece. I know how they work. And prices are already a lot higher than I'm saying, oh, fuck that, man. I just want to open them up and sell the single cards. That's what I want to do because Magic the Gathering is a community that they are more looking single cards instead of sealed products. Because everybody creates their deck in a different way and otherwise everybody is stuck with all those cards that they don't need in their decks. I understand. I understand the Magic community and it's okay. Those decks that also prices have gone up significantly, it's not worthwhile anymore because your expected value that you can have, it is a, let's call it a manipulated value. I'm hesitant in buying now if I can find commander decks because I know the prices when you buy a normal set from a supplier And if I see those prices now, they are elevated because they know what the expected value is. But I also know about those reprinted cards that could crash. But if you are a player, you don't need to pay attention to that. You can just buy. If you can find a product, my friend, be on the lookout. If you can find something, if you can still snag a pre-order somewhere, do it. Those play booster boxes are going to go up. As I said, my estimation is 160, 170. There is also no news yet about a second wave. I hope that a reprint comes soon. Wizard of the Coast apparently is doing a lot of reprints of other sets. We've got some other play booster boxes coming on, and we've got some reprints of Commander decks as well. So there is a ton of product coming our way, and then Lorwyn Eclipsed being sold out. Who knows how long we need to wait for extra product. I hope we don't need to wait long, and I hope it arrives before the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles comes out. I really hope. I'm crossing my fingers for that. But what are your thoughts now? Lorwyn Eclipsed, really sure it will be well received on your end as well. I have seen the spoilers. I have seen the cards. I have seen the commander decks. I have seen the expected value. I have seen all those things, and the product looks good. Looks extremely promising. I'm not hyping it up because you can say whatever you want. I don't have any product, so I can hype it up as much as I want. I'm not doing this for my own profit. I don't got anything for the moment. My allocations, as I said, I know it by the end of the week. If you are still looking for product, I wish you the very best. If you like this video, you know what to do. Click those damn buttons, support the channel, trying to grow, and I'm out. I see you in the next one.